Welcome back, everyone. 54 after the hour. Radical Russ here in America's last absolute prohibition state, and I'm really excited to have our next guest on the show. You just heard him in the anti-drug public service announcement of the day. It's been a long time since we've heard from him. Of course, welcome to the program, McGruff the Crime Dog. McGruff, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Russ. Thanks for having me here on the show.
So McGruff, I'm a little confused about you being here because I thought that we might be in trouble for having you here because I thought you were a registered trademark in some way, McGruff the Crime Dog.
No, that's my cousin McGruff, McGruff with a G. I'm McRuff, McRuff, McGruff the Crime Dog.
Oh, okay, that's a whole lot different thing. But you did do the same gig, right?
Oh yeah, back in the 80s, we were, McGruff and I, we were fighting crime. We'd tell the kids to just say no to drugs. Drugs are terrible, and it was a great job. Gotta admit, it was a great job.
Well, McGruff, that's pretty good to hear. And we have been wondering maybe what you've been doing since the 1980s, because, you know, you were prominently featured on shows and cartoons. Of course, you're the dog standing like a man wearing a trench coat and a hat, you know, around little kids all the time. That was never problematic.
Strangely enough, no. Nobody ever seemed to have a problem with a large anthropomorphic dog in a trench coat hanging around little children telling them about drugs. No, that was never a problem in the 80s.
Okay, so we're curious then how things changed, because after the 80s, things kind of fell off. We didn't see a whole lot out of McGruff the Crime Dog. Maybe what happened?
Well, basically, it was medical marijuana. That goddamn medical marijuana pretty much killed the whole gig.
Yeah, I can imagine that might have had a big change for you.
Yeah, it was terrible. They passed the medical marijuana, and we tried to scare the kids about just say no, and they'd tell us that Granny was using medical marijuana for glaucoma, or they knew somebody that was using it for cancer or something. So I made it tough to tell them to take a bite out of crime, and they weren't really looking at criminals; they were looking at patients.
Yeah, I can see how that would make things a little.
Yeah, and then by the 2000s, things got really bad in the 2000s.
How so, McGruff? How so?
Well, by the 2000s, you had all these kids got the internet, and they got those Facebooks and those Twitters and stuff, and all the kids started reading, actual studies and science, and started learning the truth about marijuana, and we just couldn't scare them anymore. We couldn't tell them to take a bite out of crime.
Yeah, McGruff, that sounds terrible, and I guess the other thing we'd be concerned about is, you told us over all those years the kids need to just say no, because marijuana be a gateway drug. It would lead kids to other drugs, and they'd become addicts and have terrible outcomes. So I mean that had to have an effect.
Well, yeah, it had an effect, all right. Yeah, it sure had an effect, but not the effect we'd thought. Actually, you actually look at the surveys, and kids these days, they're not doing drugs at all, hardly.
You're kidding?
No. You look at the national surveys, the Monitoring the Future survey, and every drug, you look at meth, you look at ecstasy, you look at tranquilizers and cocaine and heroin, even alcohol and tobacco. These kids, they don't use drugs anymore. They're just lower than ever recorded. They don't need a dog like me to tell them to take a bite out of crime anymore.
Well, McGruff, I'm sad. That's sad. I mean, nobody wants you to be homeless or anything. Certainly there could be something you could be doing, McGruff. There's all sorts of crime out there that you could be fighting. Perhaps there's some.
Well, I've been thinking about it. Russ. We're thinking about porn. We're thinking about attacking porn.
Come on, McGruff. You can't be serious.
No. We're take a bite out of porn didn't really have a good ring to it.
No, I can see why that take a bite out of porn might not really be good.
No, that didn't test well. So we're workshopping some other ones here. Let me see. What do you think about this? Don't be a jerk. Get back to work.
No, McGruff, that you jerk. I don't think that's a good choice.
No, that's probably not going to do it. It's not as easy trying to fight the porn as it is as fighting the drugs. It's just not quite the same. I don't know what to call it. It's just sad. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm an old dog now. Old dogs can't be taught new tricks, I guess. I can't tell the kids not to do drugs anymore. I don't know what to tell them. Maybe don't commit sedition. I don't know.
Well, McGruff, thank you for joining us here on the Russ Belville Show on Toker Talk Radio. It's been interesting to find out what has happened to you since the 1980s, and we wish you the best.
All right. Take care, and kids, remember to, take a bite out of crime. What the hell?
Yeah, for old time's sake. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Radical Russ Belville. That's all the time we got for today, and thank you, Patreon supporters, for keeping us on the air. For everyone here in America's last absolute prohibition state, I'm Radical Russ Belville, and until next time, take care of each other, tokers.
You plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it.